Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Toohey. I'll be your online teacher for this section of IH52, the Common Good. It's summer. It's June 2022, and we're just going to get started with the course. This is a practical course tour. There's another video, which will be a course overview, which will be in the introductory section of the site, which I'd like you to watch to give you an overview of the kind of things that we'll be reading and why. But this is a purely practical course tour to let you know how the site is arranged and what the requirements for the course are, both the long-term requirements and the weekly requirements, which you really need to know right away. So here's the homepage of our site. These are just pictures of some of the authors that we'll read, like Du Bois and Wollstonecraft, Immanuel Kant, Marx, Adam Smith, all great thinkers. And there's some stuff here about the Intellectual Heritage Program. And there's a picture of me in Chestnut Hill. And here is my contact information. So this will also be on the syllabus. But if you ever need to contact me, please email me directly. Do not contact me through the Canvas site. Email me at my Temple email, and feel free to call me on my cell whenever you want. I mean, if it's not convenient for me, I just won't pick up. But it's the best way for if we need to talk about something having to do with the course or some reading or anything to do with the course. The best way to do that is either through email or just call me. And that's fine. Call me whenever you like. This is the what they call the landing page for the course. I've taught online for 13 years now, and I don't like these landing pages. I like to get right to the material, but they make me do this. So that's why this is here. And it's got some nice pictures of great authors, so that's good. But really, to get started with the course, you need to click on modules. So let's go over to the main menu here on the left-hand side of the page. Click on modules, and the whole course is there, except for the syllabus. We'll talk about the syllabus later. But if you click on modules, here is the course. What you'll see is an introductory section with a course schedule and some getting started stuff, which they also make me put in there, which, but you'll also see a syllabus. You can access the syllabus in the main menu, and I might put up a syllabus in the introductory section. But this is where all the material for our course is. So click on modules to get to what you need in the course. It's number one. When you get to the home page, take a look at it, but click right on modules, and you'll see this is where the readings are, this is where the assignments are, this is where the videos are. This is where the submission links for all your assignments are. This is where the exams are. This is where everything is. So the course is organized by week. This is the week of 6/20. It's a holiday on 6/20, but it's the week of 6/20 or week 1. And you'll see that the course is organized by all 6 weeks of the course. There's still some things I'm getting together in terms of assignments, videos, and things like that. But the first week or 2 of the course is ready. The week begins with a weekly overview, which is just me talking about what we'll be reading a little bit and what the requirements are. The weekly requirements are almost always the same, so it's kind of redundant, but again, they like you to do it. Little video, hello, yes, it's week 1, yes. But what the assignments that are due that week and when they're due. Again, this is all obvious from just looking at the module, looking at the week 1 section. But just why not make it absolutely clear? So what you'll see is the readings are numbered. Reading 1 from Kant, reading 2, Declaration of the Rights of Man, reading 3 from Mayor Wollstonecraft's Vindication of the Rights of Women. These are the important things to access. So you just click on them and all the readings are there. There's no book to buy or anything. All the readings have been uploaded to this site. I always end up just hitting that download link because my little Chromebook, it takes too long for things to load. Obviously, it's still loading. It's a pretty small file, but it takes a while. So I hit that. Makes it easier. But yeah, here's our first reading. Just get it by clicking on the link and read it. For every reading, there is a set of study questions. And you might say that the due dates for the study questions are the rhythm of the course. The first study questions are due by midnight Tuesday, 6/21. So right away, you got to read Kant, do the study questions, and submit them on Tuesday. Reading 2, Declaration of the Rights of Man, due Wednesday by midnight. Reading 3, Wollstonecraft, Vindication of the Rights of Woman. When I put them up, they'll be due Friday. Okay, I haven't put them up yet. Well, I'll do that today. So for every reading, there's a study questions that are due at a certain time. I'm thinking, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday rhythm, or the 3 times a week rhythm, where there's 3 readings a week. There are 3 sets of study questions a week, and they're due typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because today's a holiday. We're not having anything today, so we'll have it due tomorrow. So each one of the readings contains some videos that I've done. This is me sort of just talking like I am now, but talking about the reading. I don't check to see whether you watch these videos. This will just take you to my YouTube channel where I store my videos, and it'll take you to a playlist of videos that I've prepared, especially for this course, for this particular reading. And there'll be videos, at least one video, usually more, for every reading. And that's just me talking about the thing. And I do not check to see if you watch the videos. I don't. It's really none of my business whether you watch the videos or not. However, I would strongly suggest that you do. I mean, why not listen to what your teacher has to say about this thing that you're reading? I mean, for one thing, you might find something interesting. But this is typical. You have a playlist, and there's three videos on Kant. It's a particularly sort of challenging reading, so I made a lot of videos for it. But other than just intrinsically, you might be interested in hearing what I have to say about the readings. But again, that's your business. I want to look ahead to the end of each week. There is a reading knowledge exam. So at the end of every week, there is an exam on what we've read for that week. This one is about these 3 readings, the Kant, the Declaration of the Rights of Man, and the Wollstonecraft. For those exams, I just want to be clear, when I come up with questions for those exams, I'm presupposing 2 things. One is that you've done the readings and thought about them, so you know the readings. The other is that you watch the videos. I'm not saying that anything I say in the videos is particularly brilliant, but some of the questions really, it would be a great help if you have watched the videos that I've made before you take the exam. So that's just advice to you. I would definitely watch the videos. Again, I don't check. I don't know how you check to see whether somebody watched the video. Again, it's not really my business, but I would strongly suggest that you watch all the videos before you take the weekly reading knowledge exam. So as far as your weekly assignments, you can see here that there's a set of study questions due for each reading, and there's definite due dates, and that always means by midnight those study questions are due that day. There is a reading knowledge exam. The reading knowledge exam is typically open from Friday at noon, so this coming Friday, to Monday at noon. I try to leave it open in such a way that it's maximally convenient for you to take it. The reading knowledge exams, I think, typically last, they're open for an hour. So once you open it, you have an hour to submit your answers, and you can only open it once. So, be prepared before you click on that link and open the exam. But the due date there is, that's when you have to take it. It'll be open, from Friday noon, typically to Monday noon. I think for the 4th of July weekend, it's open till Tuesday noon. But that's all. It's all actually in the course schedule. And your last weekly assignment is to participate in the discussion board. As you'll see, if you open up the discussion board, you'll see that there's a prompt. This is a prompt having to do with this week's readings. And so you really have to be familiar with the readings before you do the discussion board. But just respond to the prompt. This was, what do you think of Kant's definition of enlightenment? Do you think Wollstonecraft would agree to it? Do you think that either of them would approve of what's in the Declaration of the Rights of Man? Why or why not? So I really want you to do, what you need to do is really post, I would say a couple paragraphs, 1 to 2 paragraphs, something substantive in response to this question. It doesn't have to be a full-blown essay by any means. You just have to write something, that addresses this question. And crucially, if you look at what's below that, remember you have to post at least twice, meaning your first post should be your own thoughts in response to the prompt. And then you should do at least one reply to another student's post. Right? And it should be a thoughtful response to what they say. It shouldn't just be like, hey, I agree, or good post. It should say why you agree, or maybe why you disagree. We can disagree with each other. It's fine as long as we're polite. But you need to reply to at least one other student post to get full credit for this assignment. So it's a weekly assignment. The discussion board is open all week, but the discussion board closes Sunday at midnight. So this discussion board is open. Week 1 discussion board is open now, and will remain open until this coming Sunday at midnight. After which you will not be able to access it, and you won't be able to do the assignment. About late work, when it comes to these other assignments like study questions and the upcoming assignment, the reflection assignment, you can do it late. You can turn in late for half credit. So study questions will be accepted late at half credit. So once the due date passes for the study questions, they're considered late. And at that point, just turn it in before the end of the course and you'll get half credit, but only half credit. So that's about it for the weekly assignments, except for one. And this is all described in the syllabus and you'll see in the course schedule. Beginning in week 2, there's an additional assignment, this reflection. See how it says reflection on week 1? Open it up, and what it'll refer to is a video. See, what I'll do is I don't participate in the weekly discussion board. What I do is read through it and copy and paste excerpts from student work and make up a PowerPoint. And then I will record myself commenting on student work. I mean, it'll be because I think it's good student work, believe me. And I will send that out the following week. And this reflection assignment requires you to watch that video and then to respond to it in 1 to 2 paragraphs. Was there anything that I said or that any student said that you particularly agreed or disagree with? Why or why not? Just a couple of paragraphs on that. And that'll be a weekly assignment, but for obvious reasons, beginning in week 2, because it's a reflection on the previous week. And week 1, we have no previous week to reflect on. So this is all in the syllabus, but thought I would walk you through it to let you know what the weekly requirements are. Study questions, the discussion board, the reading knowledge exam at the end of the week, and then beginning in week 2, the reflection on the previous week. If you look in the introductory section, there is a course schedule which lays out exactly when everything for the class is due, when we'll be reading, what we will be reading. Again, I just hit on that download thing usually because it just takes too long to load. But if you look at this, course schedule, week 1, what we'll be reading, when the study questions are due, when the reading knowledge exam is open and when it's due, when the discussion board is open, and then, just for the following weeks, going through all the readings, study questions, reading knowledge exam at the end of the week. Again, that typically will be open all weekend, and it'll open at 12 noon on Friday. It'll stay open until the following Monday at 12 noon, just to give you time to do it when it's convenient for you. But you should be ready to go with those reading knowledge exams. I mean, those will ask you questions that will presume that you know the readings. So again, not only is it obvious that you should do the readings, to prepare for these exams. But I think watching the videos is really key, and I would strongly encourage you to watch those videos. So this is all here in the course schedule for your reference. At the end of the course, there will be a final essay that's due. So you'll do a lot of writing for this course in terms of reflections, your study question responses, your discussion board posts, and things like that. But there's only one essay, and that's due at the end of the course, Monday, August 1st by midnight. But if you if you look at that, it's on the syllabus as one of the major requirements for the course. But you'll find the submission link at the bottom after week 6. Final essay. Just click on that, and you'll see the prompt. I've also copied the prompt into the syllabus, I believe. Yeah. So at the end of the course, what I'm going to ask you to do is to choose 1 week of the course that you want to focus on. So one group of readings, and then choose at least 2 of them. Doesn't have to be all 3 of the readings, but at least 2 of them. And then to write a comparative analysis of the readings that you choose. How do they relate to each other? In what meaningful ways are they similar or different in the ideas they're getting across? And do you have a strong preference for one text over the other? Why or why not? So your essay needs to be about 4 pages, which is around 1,000 words in length, and it should present a substantive overall idea of your own. That is, these in number 3 here, these are just very loose directions for how you want to go about this. It's basically a comparative essay, but you want to get over a strong overall point of view. It's important. But we'll be talking more about that essay when we get closer to the end of the course. So those are more or less that's about it. That's what you need to do. You have these weekly assignments, which are obvious from looking at the week 1 folder here. You can see what's due. Do the readings, do the study questions on time, participate in the discussion board, and take the reading exam sometime between Friday at noon and Monday at noon. Yeah, again, the only addition is starting in week 2, you'll have an additional weekly assignment of this reflection. And again, I'll be reminding you of these things, and I'll be sending out videos as we go along. If you want to read the syllabus, just click on the syllabus link in the main menu, and then you'll see the syllabus. It's a mess because, frankly, the school, when you teach online, Temple makes you follow these templates, which are really terrible. I mean, I hate to say it, but I've been teaching online for 13 years. And, other times I've teach, they don't look over your shoulder like this and pretend to know what they're doing. So it's a little clunky, the syllabus. It's like gets different things they make you do, but I've tried to make it useful if we go past things like learning goals. There's a description of all the assignments that's in the syllabus that I think you should take a look at. Okay, so in fact, you should definitely take a look at. In fact, I will copy and paste this into the introductory section so that you have easier access to it, because it describes in some detail all of the assignments. What am I expecting from the study questions, the discussion boards, the weekly knowledge exams, the weekly reflection, the final essay. This is all here in the syllabus. So that's an important thing to look at. I would say the other really important thing is to look at how grades will be. Where's that? Yeah, this is how grades will be done. The important thing is to look at the weighting details here to see how many points are available for the course. There's 18 study question assignments, so that's 18 points because they're worth 1 point apiece. There's 25 points available for the reading knowledge exams. Actually make that 30 because there's 6 of them, not 5, sorry. So that should say 30 points. Change that right now. Sorry about that. There's 6 reading knowledge exams. They're each worth 5 points towards your final grade. So yeah, there's 30 points. Yeah, so I'm going to change that right now so there's no So 30 points for the reading knowledge exams, 6 points for the discussion board because your discussion board participation each week is worth a point. The weekly reflections are each worth a point, and the final essay is worth 10 points. The thing about these different assignments is the study questions, the discussion board, and the weekly reflections are more or less ungraded assignments. That is, you have to make a good faith effort and follow the directions and do it. It can't be, you have to try, but they're essentially ungraded, so each of them are worth a point. The only really graded assignments for this course are the reading knowledge exams and the final essay. Those will get, they'll be graded A, B, C, whatever. But the rest of it is just sort of doing it and, doing a decent job at it. And you'll get the full credit. So yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions ever in this course about anything, either about anything generally having to do with the course or anything specifically having to do with you and how you're doing in the course, please feel free to contact me at the phone number or the email that are on the homepage of the site. Welcome to the course, everybody.